Well, hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's painting topic is nature. I will try to paint a beautiful forest scape with a small waterfall in it. The goal here is to capture the essence of the greenery that nature provides us. And painting a forest scene is an excellent exercise, I believe, to learn brushstrokes and how to connect shapes together because a landscape mostly is about different shapes interconnecting each other. And those of you who are wondering about what materials I'm using, I've given all the necessary details in the description box below, so check that out. And I also suggest you watch the full video till the end so that you won't miss any critical part of the painting process. So, as you can tell, I'm placing a base tone for the rocks, which should also act like a shadow tone. I'm making sure that I'm not painting every single rock. If I were to do that, it would take forever. And as I said earlier, capturing the essence, which means that I must avoid unnecessary details. So the trick here is to paint a bit random, bit bold at the early stages of the painting. Okay, now I move on to next part of the painting, that is establishing some medium tones in the composition. This is where I begin to sort of build up the shapes, and also along the way, along the process, I try to visualize the end result. And the secret to a successful realistic painting is to constantly visualize the end result during the painting process. Okay, now I try to solidify certain shapes for the rocks, and I'm using some darker shadow tone for this because I want these rocks to be the focal point, as these dark tones will attract to viewer's eye later. The rocks on the top part of the painting will act like a contributing factor only. This means less detail for the rocks up above and more detail for the rocks down below. And since these rocks are going to be the focal point, this means a good amount of details needs to be added to them. So I will be using some gray, some good amount of brown and green as well for the rocks. I want to suggest some moss growing on them, so this will add into the overall quality. Those of you who are new to landscape painting, I suggest you add in the subject of painting rocks to your study, because rocks have a beautiful geometry of their own. Uh, they have an abstract shape to them when they are separated, but when brought together, when kept together, there is a very nice sense of design happening, a beautiful geometry happening, which is not noticeable at first for most people. And perceiving this geometry in nature is one of the best visual pleasure for a fine art painter. Okay, the brown part of the painting is done for now, and I begin to introduce some nice green into the composition. I'm not looking for any fancy details now, as I always say in most of my videos, that big shapes come first, followed by little ones, which will become details. Okay, for the tree, I'm going to place some random and suggestive brushstrokes here and there. I'm not going to get bogged down in painting every single leaf. Some randomness, some bold brushworks always brings that artistic quality in a painting. So we have to keep reminding ourselves not to get bogged down in unnecessary details. Well, now I'm going into painting little shapes, that is the detail part. And I'm trying to paint some moss on the rocks. This is what will give the painting its necessary flavor, and it will make the waterfall, which I will paint next, look more like a waterfall. I'm using a smaller brush for details, and also notice that small shapes, when placed correctly, will contribute as much as the big shapes. I'm using some yellow here and there. This will act like a mediator between the brown and green that is happening a lot in the painting. So this little bit of yellow will, I hope it will harmonize the composition. I'm painting some water here. I will be using some reflections on the water to bring that lively quality into the water. But I have to remind myself that too much reflections will remove the integrity of the painting, because the focal point is the rocks and not the water. Now for the waterfall part, well, water is transparent, which means I need to show some transparent effect, and I'm going to do that by using 70% of water and only 30% of paint. So basically one can say that I'm using acrylics like watercolors. Also, you might notice that I'm using a round brush now. This is because it will give me more flexibility with the brushwork. Okay. Well, friends, if you have made this far into the video, why not hit the like button, and also consider subscribing if you are new here, and I would appreciate all the support. And also check out the playlist section of my channel. I've uploaded quite a bit of videos there regarding related to different topics like portrait painting, oil painting, also some master copies and figure drawings as well. So check that out. And also, if you have any doubts regarding this painting, feel free to ask that in the comment section. And also I would love to hear some suggestions if you have for my next videos. Okay. Now for the final part of the painting, I'm going to add some light tones here and there for the tree and other things. This will bring a tree to the front and also establish some greenery, the essence of greenery that I spoke earlier in the video. Okay, I paint some light tone for the sky. This should create a sense of distance in the composition, and I hope it balances the white color of the waterfall. While painting, we also need to think in terms of balance. All things must work as one unit. And now I'm placing some highlights on the trees just to create that sense of spark. And by doing this, I'm almost at the end of the painting, in the end of the process. Thank you, friends, for watching this video, and I hope this video has been of some use to you in your art learning process. And to all my subscribers for supporting me so far, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I will be seeing you in the next video. Until then, take care.